I've been to El Salvador 3 times. Each one time I've gone has been a little different than the normal ship tripper because I've generally gone down to take pictures or do video or things like that. And so first trip was in about 2004. Went down and just first got my first glimpse of what ship was about, and also got my first glimpse of life in a country that's not the United States. It was eye-opening to me and very humbling to me that God had allowed me to live where I've been, because I know better than the ones that are there that are suffering. And so it was very humbling to me to go there and see what I saw. Went back a couple more times to do some more video, and it was interesting because the first time we saw land with nothing on it, and we took pictures of that. And then went back a few years later when the land was purchased and the construction had begun, but it just barely begun. And they were the first moving the land, and the first walls were going up, and that's what I saw. And we went back with that was happening, and we went to show others what was going on. And that was the last time I was there until fall of 2018. And of course, by then, several buildings had been built. It was a whole different place. And I was amazed to see what God had done in El Salvador. SHIP has impacted my life in several ways. One, it's made me more grateful for what I have. It has given me a vision of what other people are going through, and it's also allowed me to help them, to do what I can. As little as that is, I know that my efforts are making an impact far beyond my front door, and that's a great thing. My wife and I had been wanting to sponsor a child for quite a while, and we said, we'll do it, and it just never got done. And finally, we said, we've got to get this done. And so we sponsored a child. His name's Edgar. And Edgar is a very bright young man, talented in different ways. He plays the piano, he works with the kids over there. He's about to graduate in December of 2018. And he wants to go to school, go to the university. And so it was thrilling to, one, get to sponsor him and know that we were helping change a child's life, but then to go to El Salvador and get to sit down with him and talk to him and hear his aspirations. And my wife, Jill, got to look at his math papers, and we got to play Uno together, and it just made it much more real getting to see him and to know what he's doing and see that he's making the effort. He's putting forth what he needs to change his life and change his family, and that's a great thing to see. I think one of the main things that is important to me about El Salvador and what SHIP is doing in El Salvador is the fact that it's not just here's a handout and off they go. I see a plan to take a child and to nurture that child, to educate him in what he needs to do as far as his education and all these things. That's fine, but it's also in what the Lord has in his life. So it's not just about books, it's about salvation, and it's about those things as well. But you see a plan that just doesn't do a little bit and walk away, but something that is ongoing, that will literally change that child's life and the life of their family. And that's one of the things that I love about it. When I'm telling other people about what SHIP is doing, I make sure I tell them this is not just something that's a handout. This is a hand up, because it's going to change their lives. It's real easy with SHIP to concentrate on the children. They're cute and they've got their futures ahead of them, and that's a great thing to do. And I don't want to minimize that. But that's not all that SHIP is doing. SHIP is training women vocationally, so that there's a sewing school, And in fact, while we were there, one of the ladies we were talking about that her training there had enabled her to get a job. Now, if someone offered us a job for what she's going to make, we wouldn't be real interested. But she was thrilled the fact that she was able to go out and get a job because she had had training. And there again, it's their self-esteem and knowing that they are able to support their family and do things is wonderful. So that's one part of it. Then there's the ship shop. We have a ship shop in Bryan, but we also have one in El Salvador, and we send a lot of things that way. And women can come in and get the clothing and things and go out and sell it. And once again, they can provide for their family, not a handout, but giving them something they can feel good about, teaching them how to handle their money, how to make a business. It's training in so many different levels. And then, unfortunately, with some of the things that have gone on in El Salvador, there's a lot of single moms. And there's a ministry to them as well, so that they can, they also are benefiting from the ministry of SHIP. I know of very few things in my life that can break my heart and make my heart soar at the same time. SHIP is one of those.